to another. It's been back-to-back value. The Leah, this is think tank team, PNA and his wonderful team, they've been loading us with so much value over value. And it's another time again today. And I want to welcome each and every one of us once again. Okay, we're going to just take a few minutes to introduce ourselves, because one of the things we want to be able to do tonight is also to connect. You know, yes, we're going to be learning. It's going to be a time of learning. It's going to be a time of, you know, changing mindset and rebuilding all the things we've always known. But then it's also another time of e-connecting. So I'll start with myself. My name is Olubamike Fadike, and I'm an HR and business consultant. I help growing businesses build their structure. Okay, and so I'm going to just go around. I want us to introduce ourselves, and I'm going to start with the names I can see on my screen. So I'm going to start with the first person I'm seeing. Okay, the first person I'm seeing is Abasifreke Thompson. Can we have you tonight? Just introduce yourself. Take a few minutes to let us know what you have. Who you are, what you do. Can you do that for us in one?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. Let's have it.
My name is Abasifreke Thompson. I'm a banker by profession. I produce perfumes, and I help small businesses structure their business on the online space, thereby helping them to make more sales and make more profit as well. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Oh, short and sharp. Okay, the next person I can see is Abdulhamid. Can we have you, sir? Abdulhamid. If you seconds, can you tell us who you are?
Okay, good evening.
You have it.
Can you hear me? Good evening.
I can hear you loud and clear. Good evening, sir. You have the floor.
My name is Abdulhamid Adekunle.
Okay.
So I'm a realtor. I help people to meet their heart desires in terms of property, genuine properties, selling locations.
Oh, fantastic. Nice to meet you,
That's
sir.
what I do.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you
thanks.
Thank you for that certain top introduction. Okay, I have next, as it is on my screen, Elder Leke Balogun. Can we have you, sir? You're already unmuted, so we can as well have you right now.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Leke Balogun. I'm the Executive Director of Operations, Oxford International Group.
Oh,
thank you.
Nice to have you here. Thank you
pleasure
very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Okay, the next person I can see here is Adebola. Can we have you introduce yourself? I'm going to jump because so that it's not just the people with AAA that we are introducing, because it's actually alphabetical on my screen. Okay, so can we have you?
Please, can you unmute people?
Okay, let me just, can I have Alaka? Can we have you introduce yourself if you're there? Can we do that in a few seconds so that we can still connect with ourselves before we have our guest speaker for tonight? I want us to be able to connect and at the same time while learning. Okay, apparently this person knows. Okay, can we have Aishat Asekome? Can we e-connect? Can we e-meet you? Okay, if I call your name and I'm not hearing you say anything, I'll jump to another person. Because we're also looking at the time, we want to be able to make the best of time. I can see Baba. Nice to have you here. Can you introduce yourself? Okay. Oh, chat is back. Okay, can we have you quickly? In few seconds, please
Good
introduce
evening,
yourself.
everyone.
Good evening,
My name
ma.
is Group as an investment consultant. This word.
I can hear you. Nice to meet you. So nice to have your sporty. Okay, you're breaking though, but I can hear you. Nice to have you here tonight. Thank you for being here. Can we have Babatunde Jikono? Do you want to introduce yourself in few minutes?
Okay, good evening. My name is Babatunde Jikono, and I help people to make decision as regards investment. That's I consult as an investment consultant. That's what I do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Nice to have you here. Chidima Agailinam. Yes, I can see that name. I'm picking names randomly because we need to round off fast now. Are you there? Please let's be muted. Chidima, are you there?
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Chidima Yeninam. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Go
It's
ahead,
a
please.
pleasure being on this platform. I'm a realtor, a teacher by profession, and I also love to meet people and help them make the right decisions when it comes to their finances and connect them to the right platform. I also work with Oxford International Group as an investment manager. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Well,
you're welcome.
People here, I can see 133 wonderful people here. We won't be able to introduce ourselves, but we can certainly connect in the chat box. Let's make the chat box buzzing. You can introduce yourself in the chat box so that we can connect, we can meet ourselves and know who is who, so that we can also place the space by the name. You may want to rename yourself so that whatever name you're going to introduce yourself in the chat box can actually match the name that you have, on your profile tonight. And if you care so much, if you don't mind, you may want to see your face, you may want to put on your video, that will help us to connect better. So please let's make the chat buzzing. And while we do that, I want to quickly introduce our guest tonight. Let me start by appreciating PNA and the 6GR team. It's been a wonderful time, I must say. I mean, the last couple of weeks, it's been back-to-back value. It's been a great time of learning, and it's another time tonight. And I must say that the one that
Can you mute everyone?
I think I need to. Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, we need to minimize distractions as much as possible. Please. At that level. Okay, so I'm going to be introducing, I said let's be chat box buzzing. Let's introduce ourselves and remember to rename yourself on your profile so that people will be able to place the name the introduction you've had in the chat box with the name, with the face that they're saying. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead tonight to introduce to us the guest speaker, a great estate mogul, an entrepreneur, co-founder of Tenniola Africa Foundation. He was recognized as one of Nigeria's top 10 CEOs in 2018 by the Top 10 magazine. He's a seasoned business, vast experience in finance, investment, insurance, and real estate management. And as a current chairman of Oxford Group International, he is responsible for over 5,000 business associates who manage the day-to-day activities of over 200 major subsidiaries. He is known for his selfless service to humanity, highly sought after as a marketing and business accelerator, which has earned him over 70 awards for outstanding contribution towards youth, growth, and development in the society. As a way of giving back to the society, he started his philanthropic journey to teach the prerequisite tips that can help entrepreneurs grow businesses and provide and viable ones, financially and otherwise. This he has done with the sole aim of reducing the level of poverty in Nigeria and Africa. And tonight, PLA, good evening, sir. Nice to have you and thanks for this, sir. Tonight, I have the honor
sorry, Banker, I have to come early with my pen and my paper. Today is today. When you have a tenant in the house, you need your pen and your paper. And I hope everybody has gotten their pen and their paper. You need to be ready. This is a man that has done that and bought the t-shirt, like they used to say. He has done this, done that, and bought the t-shirt. So I think it's going to be a wonderful time. Not I think, I know it's going to be a wonderful time. And I want all of us to be ready. Thank you, the banker.
Thank you very much. In fact, it's a whole lot of vibe, and I have the honor and the privilege to welcome tonight Dr. Tenniola Adesanya. Can we have you tonight, sir? You have the floor, sir. And we can't wait to just milk you tonight. Can we give him a round of applause, please?
Good evening, everyone.
Let's give him all the good evening, sir.
Good evening. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Tenniola Adesanya. It's a privilege to be on the platform of the Adesanya Business Professional Community. I am so excited to be able to share my experience and also to tell us a few things about how to attract and generate income in the business we do. Notwithstanding, I would also want to quickly point out here that most businesses in Nigeria are not just suffering from income generation strategies. We're not able to even get human capital that will put these strategies together. So I'm going to be starting from there this evening if my host will allow me to start now, or maybe I should just kick off immediately. So I would like to know, should I go ahead?
You have the floor, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm going to be teaching us about the practical things we need to know about business. I have come to understand that businesses is actually peculiar to the location that you find yourself. Most books that we have read will tell us that whatever happens in America is the same thing that happens in UK, same thing that happens in Nigeria. Yes, business principles might be the same, but the terrain we find ourselves, the location you find yourself might be a bit different. The way you react to issues, the way you react to challenges in business, the way you react to the returns on your strategy might be different because of the location you find yourself. For instance, most books you read will tell you that you can actually start a business without capital. that might be something that would really, really work if you are in a terrain where possibly they have electricity 24/7. So if you are starting a business in Nigeria and you don't have electricity 24/7, so it's important that you have to look for money to put fuel in your generator and then do business. So it makes the location to want to not respond directly to what the business is talking about. So I'm going to go into, in the next 35 minutes, I'm going to go into the topic attracting and generating more income in your business. I'm going to go through the normal things that we know, the things that we need to change, the strategies we need to put in place. I'm also going to also tell us exactly the reasons why people that do well in-house are better than the ones that we are seeing today. Number one, when you are doing business, and one of the things that I do as an individual was to first understand the business I want to go into. It is very difficult for you to convince anyone that, for instance, you want to go into a real estate business and you want people to know you, that you are a successful real estate businessman. You are a successful real estate agent or a successful real estate consultant. The first thing to do was to first prove that you even understand the business you are doing by knowing the nitty-gritty about real estate, the type of real estate you're doing, and then to also know how to communicate this business to the people by way of creating products that will solve people's problem. So if you don't put that in place, it may be pretty difficult to generate income as a businessman. Secondly, there is also upgrade you need to do. The terms you need to be using that is different from what they hear from other people. Because for every business person, you understand that you have companies that are also doing the business. So you have to create a niche. You have to create a strategy that makes your response to customers' needs different from the ones they are also doing, so that when they meet you, they will be hearing something different from what they've had before when they are trying to solve their problem to that same business. Number three, you must hire people that understand the business that you want to do. And this is something that is extremely difficult in Nigeria. Most of the time, when you want to increase or generate income, more income for your business, you need to start first from your human capital. The people that work with you, do they have the capacity to generate the type of income that you want to generate? Do they even understand why you are even generating that income you are projecting? Let me take an example. You cannot work with people that doesn't understand what it takes to build an heritage business and be discussing about strategies that will stay for generations. They don't understand why you're talking about the present need and you are talking about the future needs of what the company will do. So it is important for you to have people in-house, people that work with you, that can share your vision, understand exactly where you are going, understand the sacrifices you are prepared to make, and then to also try and share and work and do whatever it takes to achieve that goal. Sincerely, no business can go far without having the right human capital, what we call having the right peg in the right hole when it comes to human resource. So it is important for you to have the right people. Now, lastly, you have to set up an organization that its vision can outgrow you. When people listen to you, two things on their mind. One, can they trust you? That's number one. Number two, can they trust your organization? Because the organization should be able to outlive you. If you are a good person, you have integrity, you solve customers' problem, you are, as a matter of fact, expert in customer service, but customers see that someone else can do what you do, or your organization cannot continue if anything happens to you, they will still have their doubt and not do business with you. So it is important for us to know that these are steps you need to first take before you now start looking at generating more income. Now, let's go into the normal nitty-gritty of what you need to do to generate income. You know, I've told you that it's important for you to have a product that will identify and then solve people's problem. You have the human capital that are there to push, and then you have set yourself above others. What means you carve a niche for yourself that makes you different from any other person that is doing the same business. So number one, you need to set a defined goal. Now, I remember I'm going practical because that's what I do. I don't know how to do motivation speaking. I will tell you the way things work. I was in a board meeting earlier this year. You know, for every year you go into any business, they will come with their budget, they will come with their projections and all of that. So I was in a board meeting and they told me, the MD was making a presentation to us, and he said he's ready to generate 500 million in income this year. And everybody started raising eyebrow that, oh, how are you going to generate that income? Because 500 million, it is something that we are looking at you generating in the first quarter. You want to generate it in 1 year. It looks as if, oh, this guy is telling us that we have put our money in the wrong business. If all you could generate in 1 year is 500 million. So we went into his projections. And one of the things I discovered, that people make projections based on their level of capacity. People don't like taking risk. People like making projections based on what happened last year and probably what happened a year before. People figure that the best way to write a projection is to probably do a 30% increase in the former year that ended. No, sir. For you to be able to grow and move fast in business, the first thing you need to do is to get a projection that will make you to be able to achieve your dreams on time. I tell you sincerely, nobody can grow in business if your projection is something you can achieve. If you make any projection and it's easy for you to achieve it, then you are not growing. So what he did was to write a projection that is easy for him to achieve without having been blamed at the end of the year. So we rejected that proposal and insisted that we want to generate a minimum of 5 billion, which is times 100, of what he wants to generate in 1 year. So one of the things I'm telling you, that you have to set a defined goal. You need to understand exactly what you want to achieve. You cannot make money you have not planned for. Let me say that again. You can't make money you have not planned for. The money you have not planned for, when it comes to you, it will destroy your organization. If all the things you have ever planned for in your life, in your entire business, is 100 million, when somebody gives you 1 billion naira, it will scatter your plans. It will make you to rush into excessive growth. It will make you to want to take decisions on faster than what you are supposed to do. And that makes you to make errors. What you don't prepare for will destroy you. So it is important for your organization to prepare for what you want to become or what you want to achieve. And that is you generating more income at the end of the day. Number two, you have to target those people that can generate those income for you. Let's say, for instance, you are in the real estate business and you have 500 agents working with you. You are averaging about probably 5 billion turnover a year. And you want to generate more income. Mathematics is very true. It's just you want to generate 5 billion or you want to generate 50 in turnover this new year. The best thing to do is to increase your 500 agents to 5,000 agents. It's as simple as that. And how do you increase? By creating recruitment, by creating opportunities for people to be able to have access to work on your platform, giving more than what you've been given before, making your platform more attractive, and voila, you start generating income. Another thing I want to say here, you have to be able to understand that for you to be able to generate more income, you need to outreach. For instance, if you are in Lagos, your business is in Lagos, and probably you are generating income and you feel that it's important for you to make more money, it is time to look at other locations in Nigeria that can actually share the same value. Don't forget, your business cannot survive everywhere. Don't forget, you have to understand, and that is why mathematicians should need to do SWOT analysis. You need to know that the location I want to go into, will my business survive there? Will my business make money? Will I be accepted? Will I be able to do business in those communities before you go? If you want to go by my own calculation, like what I did in my own business, where at the point in Lagos, and I felt it's important for a company that wants to go global to first take over its own community. That is why sometimes I look at people that write business plan that their business wants to go global, and they only have presence in Lagos. And the next thing you see is that they have presence in Ghana. Lagos, Ghana, South Africa. Who are you fooling? You are fooling yourself. The first thing to do is to first take over your own entire local business space, to the point that if anybody enters your country, when you mention your name, your business name, almost everybody knows what you do. That is the first step before you start going global. Now, people don't do that, so they rush into going global because they believe that that's what attracts investors into their business. But take one step at a time. From Lagos, you move to probably Abuja. From Abuja, you move to Port Harcourt. And before you know it, you are generating more income for yourself. You might have products. For instance, you might have products. You can imagine that even MTN Nigeria has fast products. You know, normally we know that what they do for is to give you a SIM. You load the phone, or you call with the credit you bought, or you probably use this for data. But they will still come up with various products to get Nigerians. They will tell you, oh, this product is when you buy the data, you can still save more data than for another 30 days, you know. So for you to generate more income in your business, you need to create more products that solve people's problem. If what you are doing, for instance, maybe you set up an hospital, and the only thing you do is probably you're a gynecologist, and that's what you're based on. You might decide to extend to others and start employing people in other aspects of medicine. And that is how you grow, and then you start making more income for yourself. And you have to be able to maximize your space. If what you do basically is real estate, and you decide that, okay, you want to have legal, you can actually partner with a lawyer and start a law firm. And before you know it, all the documents that you were doing from outside, that you were paying people, you start doing from in-house. And that's how you make more money for yourself. Add products to what you have before, and not just adding products, making those products bountiful for other customers to be able to look at it and pay more money to you. So I'm going to add this too. Sometimes we do more local practical businesses. Some of us, we just felt that, okay, I'm able to have this number of customers. So we have them physical customers that we do. Probably we have marketers that got them in. It is sometimes important that one of the ways to increase your income is to go digital. I employed that in my business. 2017, 2018, I was more of a one-on-one person. I like to know my customers back from the truth. I like to know what they do and then how to manage them. But when it's time for us to go digital, more customers on our digital form, more like 3 times of what we've done in 3 years. So it is important for you to look at some of your products that you are doing, probably you're giving out on the normal archaic way, and you might make them digital. And when you make them digital, it start attracting that is not in your locality to start doing business with you. That is something you need to look critically into, especially those of us that are doing retail business. It is important. It is important for you to upgrade your IT system, to upgrade your business, and make sure your business is accessible online. Very, very important. Very, very important. It's something that will also help you increase your income sporadically. You will be shocked at what will come into you if you take your business digital. Also, I don't know, let me just add this. One of the things that I saw most businesses in Nigeria, especially the ones that are coming up, is that we don't like to pay people. We don't like paying. I don't know. Most of us, we look at our budget. This thing I'm saying is very dicey, but I have to say to business owners, you need to understand that for you to get value, you need to pay. You cannot have the best if you don't pay. When you don't bring the right people into your business, especially in critical areas of your business, you might be having issues. If you set up an IT department, for instance, you need a guy that you can pay very well that will run your IT department. If you are in finance, for instance, you need a finance guy that is vast in areas that you will be able to be comfortable enough to be able to go and sleep while he handles the business. And you have to pay them very well. I've seen a lot of people that come on board and they will tell us, oh, I want you to pay me 50 million per annum. And I don't get scared about paying people 50 million per annum. What I get scared about is, do you have the capacity to deliver what you're asking? Because at the end of the day, I can afford to pay you. Can you afford to give me value? That is what you need to look into. You need to look into the right people. Understand that we are short of people that actually create effect in organizations. Please, you need to understand that Nigeria is short of it. We don't have those people that are determined to great success. People only come out to work, earn their pay, and go home. That's what people do. But if God helps you to be able to look out for these talents and they come into your system, please pay them well. Because at the end of the day, they are going to give you value. Trust me, they will go to give you value. I'm talking from my experience angle. I've seen where I've brought in professionals into the business and they turn the business around. One strategy can make you make all the things you've made for the past year in one transaction. It is very, very important. So part of the reasons why a lot of business also make more money is that they develop reputation in their industry and their community. Because you are a business, you are supposed to know that reputation precedes funding. No investor will want to place or put bonds in your hands when it is important that one of the core strategy for you to be able to outshine competitor in your industry is for people to see your business as a reputable one. I beg in the name of God, you can lose everything. Don't lose reputation. Reputation will help you open doors where others cannot access. Reputation will help you get referrals when other people cannot. I have been in real estate business and I know that so many times some of these real estate firms have done some things that is making other people to begin to look at us that are doing real estate as if everyone in Nigeria is scamming people. It's not true. Reputation is something you have to hold. How to measure reputation? When it's not as if your business will not have problems, it's not as if various challenges. Your attitude to want to solve problems, your attitude to do the right thing is what is called reputation. It's even in problem, you wanting to correct it and make sure that it works, it's what is called reputation. I beg in the name of God, in anything you do, make sure that in a community, they don't see your business as violent, they don't see your business as being as taken from the people and not giving back. And then your reputation as an individual who is running business is also very, very important. I'm going to sign out with this. Let me tell you some facts in this that you need to take home. Number one, if you think that for you to start a business, you need one door to open, you need one person to hold your hand and then lead you into business, you are joking. That's a joke. One of the things I have done successfully is to understand the business I want to do and go into it and become a pace setter. That's what I've done. Don't believe. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should not do your research. People before you, I've laid the platform, the path for you to go through. But I tell you sincerely, what makes you outstanding is when you go through that path and then make it wider or probably do something different. That's what makes you different. That's what makes people begin to see you. Because when you do what others do normally, you become a normal person. But when you go into that industry and reshape the industry, change the narrative, do what others don't do, give credibility to that industry, bam, you start making money and everybody start calling your name. And I'm telling you sincerely, having 1 million followers on Instagram is not what I'm talking about. People knowing you because you go on TV 24/7, that's not what I'm saying. You are creating an avenue to solve a major problem in the country you belong. That's what makes you an excellent businessman. When you do all of this, income limited. Don't forget what I told you. In any business you find yourself, when you are reputable, you know how to give products that will solve people's problem. You can expand your business to where it can get close to the people. You adopt IT means, digital means to get through to the people. You do all the strategy possible to make sure that you get the right person running the way you will act and generate income, you will become speed of light. Thank you very much for listening to me this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that powerful session.
Okay.
God bless you, sir. I imagine we have questions and answers now. I'm sure we have a lot of questions for. Okay, I think somebody needs to be muted. I'm hearing voices. I can see.
Bamike, can I come in a bit? Can I come in a bit? Tenny, you gave us Shoki Lodoge.
Yes, I'm with you.
Is it that they gave you time limit to speak? I was expecting that you will still be talking and talking and talking for the next 30 minutes. Huh? But don't worry, I believe the questions that. Okay, good. I believe the questions that they will ask will bring out a lot of things. And you know what? You mentioned something here, your reputation. I think that is one thing that is so lacking in the Nigeria business context. And I think people need to look at that. And I would advise us to go probably to my Instagram page. Yeah, I have something on reputation capital, your reputational capital, which is very important for you to move on. Because many times we focus more on human resources, human capital, but it's social capital. If your social capital is deficient, there is little or nothing your human capital can do. So actually your social capital needs to be strong, which is your integrity, your reputation. And then Dr. Tenny ironed that for us greatly. And I remember one of the things that I faced when I was in 2010, before what I could say, what made me probably one of the highest paid speakers in Nigeria was not based on performance, but it was based on reputation. It was reputation. I've done the job with the telecom company, most of us with the telecom company. The MD was interested in me, but the MD sat down with other vice chancellors of the university. This was the program and he was asking them a question. How many of you have encountered our speaker for the day? How many of you have encountered our speaker for the day? Now, you see, I have performed, I have delivered. He's impressed, but he wasn't going to just buy that. He was going to ask and measure my reputation. And luckily for me, I have done since 2007. I've been going to all those universities those days to talk to the students. The VCs will be there. The dean of students appear to be sitting at my programs. And then they had so much to say. When he asked them, what do you think about our speaker, Nia Adesoya? I was at table 2. All of them were on table 1. And I was eavesdropping. I could hear them say fantastic things. For instance, now, it is on record that in FUTA, that is Federal University of Technology, Akure, that the Nia Adesoya branch changed the way they sang their school anthem. The vice chancellor was there, the deputy vice chancellor was sitting, and they took their school anthem, and then I went there, I said, no, you can't be singing it this way. So for the next 15, 20 minutes, we were trying to master how to sing their school anthem. So when the man asked, the vice chancellor, the deputy vice chancellor of the university was there, who eventually became the vice chancellor of the university. Guess what he will say? He was all over, boasting as if I was one of his students or his friend or his son or his brother. And boom, I was able to clinch that based on what Tenny already told us here. Look, your reputation, very important. You want to generate more money. How much did they pay me for that event? It was about 500,000 naira for that event. But like they said, the rest is history. Because then the amount was more than doubled for every appearance that I had. And then for a year, 15 times in a year, averagely 15 times in a year, I was going from one university to another, fully sponsored. They were flying me all around Nigeria and taking me to all those places. Why? Because of the reputation. I thank you so much. Dr. Tenny, I call him my chairman anyways. I call him my chairman.
Thank you, sir.
Many people also ask me, you know, they've been asking me, is it my brother? Is it my brother? Because we bear the same name. Yes, he's my brother. What else do you say if you have somebody who is a billionaire who bears your last name? Who bears your last name? He's my brother. I mean, are you not my brother? He's my brother. I just want to don't even try to investigate how we became brothers, but we're brothers. So it's good to do it. So what we'll do quickly, because I know I've sat down with him, we've deliberated, we've done a lot together in the same room, and I know he's got stuff. That's why we brought him here. And the purpose of this financial series is for us to be able to change our financial statements. Last week, we had 3 weeks ago, we had Clementola de Cooper. Last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago, we had Temi teaching us about how our brand can bring in more money. This week, Tenniola this one teaching us on how to generate more income. And he said a lot of things. Capacity determines the projection that you make. Sometimes you're limiting yourself not because there are no opportunities, you're limiting yourself because you can't see those opportunities. And then he said you can't grow into business if your projection is easy to achieve. You can't grow your business. Your projection is easy to achieve. In other words, what you can think, you can conjure, you can see yourself working it out. You can't grow a business. You have to stretch your goal beyond that. Because when you stretch your goal beyond that, when you stretch beyond what you're capable of doing, then you are primed yourself to generate more income. He said something else that I wrote down. I'm talking about my notes now. Target those who can bring in the money. And not just that, you also say that you also need to bring people, partner with people, employ people, depends on the state that you are in, employ people who can help you generate that income. People of like mind who understand your vision and everything. And then he said something, pay them well. Don't pay them well. Pay them well is relative. especially when they see your account. Some people can pay 2 million, but this is it. I earn 500,000. And then again, do I just say that invoice, don't worry, we're going somewhere, everything, but they can see you make 500,000. They need to see that, okay, out of this 500,000, is it 5,000 naira that gets to me? And then and at that point in time, you need to be open with them. When you have 500,000 naira, you don't need to be able to, you don't need to cover whatever you have made. You need to be open up to them and say, this is how much you have made. There will come a time where there is something we call information management. Information management. That is when we begin to do billions and billions and billions. It's not everybody that you can open your books to at that point. It's just some people have the privilege of information. But when you're starting and you know that this thing, this thing is not much, it's always good to carry them along so that they can see, okay, this man is stretching for me and everything. Pay them well, create more product. And this is what I like the most that he said today. Maximize your space. Before you start saying you want to go global, have you conquered your local territory? I always tell people this. When you look at the Oni of Ife and the Queen of England, the territory they cover is not comparable. But an Oni of Ife in Buckingham Palace is a king. He will never bow down to the Queen of England. He will never. He will stand up straight and shake the Queen of England. Why is that? He's a king in his territory. So wherever he finds himself globally, he's recognized as a king. So if you do not conquer your own territory, you go out there, you'll be taken as a second fiddle. So let us do everything to conquer our own territory. Thank you so much. And I believe that we have a lot of, I'll get over to you right now, but I'm just so excited. Normally I don't do this. I'm just so excited about today. And then again, let me say this, that for those of us who are here, before you start leaving, next week also we'll be having Chukwuma Nwanze. Chukwuma Nwanze is the Executive Director, Finance and Strategy, Credit Direct. Chukwuma Nwanze, Executive Director, Finance and Strategy, Credit Direct. What is he coming to talk about next week? He's coming to talk about money mastery techniques. Money mastery techniques, 7 p.m. And then on the 26th of this month, we'll be having a young, dynamic business guy that I've known for years when he was selling shoes. And now this guy is doing magnificent numbers. He's into real estate. We'll have Adetola Nola coming to tell us his story on how he was able to put that. He's about 31, 32-year-old young man. And I want that, I said it before that I want people like that in this space so that they can come and tell us and we can all be motivated and inspired. So that is how far we'll go for this month. I don't know whether we'll continue in March, and I told you 1 quarter, but things are coming up at us in fifth gear, so we may not be able to accommodate so much of continuing this thing in March, but we could still continue in March, but I can't guarantee you again because many things are coming at us. Good. So next week, join us. Don't go yet. Next week, we're having Chukwuma Nwanze, and then the following week, 26th, we will be having Adetola Nola being here, the CEO of Veritasi. So good. Bamike, over to you. Let's take some questions. Let us milk Tenniola. Let us milk it. Let us milk it dry. I hope we can do that in the next 1 hour or 2 hours. Good.
I've been waiting to take questions after the chat room. I'm not seeing a lot of questions tonight. I can't see hands on. No one asking questions. You can raise your hand digitally. You can.
I think people, what about, do we have people who raise their hands?
Yes, I can see two people. I can see Ibrahim. I think you should just go ahead with Ibrahim. Ibrahim, you can unmute yourself and let's have you. Okay, go ahead. Short and sharp. Thank you.
Ibrahim, if you
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
switch on your video. Good evening, Ibrahim.
My question goes like this. The chairman said we should project ourselves above what we assume we can achieve. But how can we relate this with taking a calculated risk in that projection? I don't know if my first question.
Do you want to come again? Hello, do you want to take that question again, please?
All right. The chairman said we should make a projection above our thoughts. That for a business to grow, the business must project itself above what it can achieve, not an easy achievement. So my question goes this way: where do we base calculated risk? How can someone base his calculated risk with his projection?
Okay.
I don't know if that's clear.
Go ahead, Dr. Tenniola.
Yeah, okay. Can I take that? Okay, so I think the question is asking is, how can I make projection that is above what I can achieve, since he knows that is not easy? That's the question. I think so.
Yeah, and also I think it also means that, okay, you said we should stretch. We should make projections of something that we cannot achieve. I mean, in our own capacity. So how do you place that base and base calculated?
Okay. So in business, most people, because if you're a business owner, for instance, and most of the time I used to tell my directors that the agencies that we put under them, they should be the one to look at their projections and make sure that they enforce some level of projections on people. Employees will give themselves projections of what they can achieve, what they won't get query on, or probably what they will use to judge them at the end of the year. For instance, you are in a real estate business, you want to increase your income to 5 billion. I said it before, have 500 agents working with you. The previous year, you were able to do 500 million in turnover, and you want to go 5 billion the new year. The best thing to do is to increase the number of people working with you in your projection to 5,000. Now, the challenge in the projection will now be, how can I get 4,500 people to be added to the normal 500 that we have? That is the job. So because you have raised the bar so high to 5,000, everything you will be doing throughout the year, you will be towards achieving 5,000. But you do a projection based on what you have, which is 500. Some people increase their projection by 30%. So they'll say they will do 50 because they are trying to play safe. That, okay, I already have 500, let me add 150. At the end of the day, you discover that by April of that same year, you already have your 650. So what you are supposed to do for a whole year, you achieved it in 4 months. So because you are not prepared for 4,500 people, eventually when they come into your system that same year, you will not be able to manage them because you didn't make projections for them. That is what I'm trying to say. So you have to make your projections so robust that whatever level of speed you give, you will still be able to contain it and manage that business as it comes.
Thank you very much. I hope that solves it for you. Okay, I can see more hands on. I can see big one. Big one, do you want to go ahead with your question?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead, big one. We can hear you.
Okay. My question is, for people that are just should I say coming in, and we are trying to build up our then we should I say like I heard them talking about moving to one location. We think resources will be able to make it there. And I feel the locations are a bit over. So there's nothing wrong with us actually going outside,
Hello,
like
big
outside
one.
the shores
Big
of
one.
Nigeria to get
Big
right.
one. Big one. Big one. You've been breaking. I don't know whether it's my system here or my network that is. The question is not clear at all. If you can do us a favor, just type out the question. Type out the question. Do us a favor.
Okay.
Because you're breaking.
Thank you.
So while we're waiting for people to type out their questions, okay? Take more live questions while we wait for people to type out their questions, please.
I see God's power. You want to go ahead? We can have other people type the question so that we just read out. God's power, do you want to go ahead with your question? God's power, Chidinma, I can see your digital hand up. Do you want to go ahead?
Yes.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes. Okay, I have a question, though I've benefited more from the discussion so far. Okay, for someone new who is new, like for someone who is actually new to the market, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can.
Okay,
Go
for
ahead,
someone who is actually new, okay, for someone who is actually new to the market, how can one actually gain more visibility? Yes, for someone who does not really have much social media power and maybe less funds to actually pay for ads and the rest.
Chairman, okay.
First of all, you need to first understand that business is not a joke. Yeah, you need to understand that business is not a joke. The moment you decide that you want to go into business, it is more like what people call him, where I come from, it's more like what they call that you are now becoming a man. So you cannot have teething problems like, I don't have money to do social media. You can't do that. Before you even venture into business, you must first understand that is either I'm having a little bit of money with me to do all this campaign, or I am bringing in partners into my business that have the little money that I don't have to complement me so that we can do this business. You have to be serious. You have to understand what it takes to generate a little bit of income to move the business forward. What we used to have is books to do business. We don't longer do that anymore. You know, they will tell you in books that you don't need capital to start a business. First, forget that. You need to first, because 5 naira is also a capital expenditure in business. So if you are going into the business, I don't have money to do the business, I can bring in quite a bit of friends to either become equity holders or become partners of the business, or we do the business together. It is important for you to get people to bring funds together and then you push. Understanding that you have already done all your research, that you are sure that the moment you start pushing this campaign, it will start giving you income And that is how you'll be able to pay back those people you got funds from. So you have to be serious when you are doing business. It's as simple as that.
Awesome.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I have questions on the thread. Should I read it and answer them?
Go ahead, sir.
Said, being open up to staff, hope it won't be an avenue for staff to think otherwise. They might think one is using them to make lots and not getting enough to pay. Meanwhile, they will have forgotten that there are several bills or loans. Okay, so when we're discussing about buying the trust of the people that work with you, what we are saying is, because I did it in business too, there was a time almost the people that I started with are partners. I didn't have money to do so many things. So I started bringing them in, like, you know what, you are ED operations and I'm trusting your ability, but meanwhile, that little money you have, put it on the table, you know, because I know that I need them to be able to achieve my goals. I need them to be able to push forward. So I brought them in and gave them capacity. And that's how they started. At some point, some of them could not meet up because their capacity was lower than what I gave them. So they could not meet up, so they started dropping. Some of them will say, oh, and in business, you get to a point, some of them will say, hey, you know what? You have the capacity to go hungry, I go hungry, I'm going. So what we are saying is, you employed someone that you obviously know you cannot pay, but you need the person to deliver value. What you need to do is to sell your vision to that person. Let the person know where you are going and how sincere you are with what you want to do. Let the person know that if it starts with you now, it can become a partner with you tomorrow. Let the person know that whatever is losing now, it can actually make it an inequity in the future. Let the person know that it can be a stakeholder in the business. You want all to do this together. I cannot eat this alone. By the time the business becomes a fortune, I can't eat it alone. So can you help me come to the business with me now and win together? You have to be sincere about it. You have to be transparent. You have to make sure that people that you are bringing in to do this for you must be able to trust you. That okay, so they will be doing with all their might, that they are doing something for themselves as well, not just for you. And those are the kind of people we are talking about. We are not saying you should hire a cleaner and be telling the cleaner to trust you. No, we are not saying you should hire a driver and be telling the driver to trust you. We are talking about key factors, key location, key areas of business that will make you increase in capacity and in revenue. That's what we are talking about. Okay. So, okay. I think there's no more questions here. People are talking personal here. For instance, Penny just answered. It means it will also require one to pour more money into business. How do one manage to ensure that one don't lose money, sir? I used to believe that it's a pride that people boast and tell people they've been in business for 25 years and they have never borrowed from any bank. I used to thought it's, in my mind, I used to believe, oh, it's something of pride. Hello, they are fools. The money is lying there for them to use. Go to the bank, take this money, do business, because there's no difference between you getting money from an investor and getting money from the bank. It's the same thing. You are still going to pay back. So get this fund, use it for business, and move forward. There's no pride in saying, I don't take loan from the bank. You are making it look like those that are taking loan are fools. They are not. They are better than you in every way, in every capacity. That's it. Thank you.
To add to that, anybody who's saying that they don't use bank money, they are playing small. They are really small. And I think I need to debunk this, especially in churches. Churches will tell you, we don't borrow money, we built this place, we built that place, we built that place. But they are also using, that's a business mind right now, they are using OPM, other people's money. When you go to the bank, OPM, every person that we have bank First Bank Guarantee Trust. Well, we took our money there. We took our money there for them to keep. You see, our money that we using to borrow people who will do and who will return money back. So same thing, we go to churches and we gave our donation, offerings and tithes. It's from that pool of money. That is where the church uses to do the building and do all those things. So they didn't borrow on interest. Actually, they used God's money that we gave God to use God's money to build the building, which is good. But you don't tell us people who are in business, right? Go and look for OPM. We need to look for OPM. So if you can get it from here, the only place that is available is the bank. Anybody who is not using OPM is playing small. Point blank. Is playing small. So what we need to do is to know how to manage loan, how to manage credit. Probably one of these days we'll bring Tenniola back to come and tell us how to manage credits and everything. So that's also very important. You want to play big, you must go for loan. You must go for loan. But don't just say, okay, I want to go for loan because we asked you to go for loan. No. Talk to your financial advisor. Before you go. And then so that I can balance that up. But you need it to play big. I can see a hand up. Okimbaloye Jenyo. That's my very own boy. Okimbaloye Jenyo. Can you help me unmute Okimbaloye Jenyo so that he can ask this question? What did he disappear to now?
Oh, okay. Okay, we have two other people. We have Chima King and Akinloye Yusuf. Can we have Chima King? Chima, do you want to go ahead?
Okay, after Chima, we'll have Okimbaloye Jenyo.
Oh, is it still here? I can't see him.
He's here, but Chima can go ahead. Chima, please.
Okay.
So who is going now?
He's not talking. Can we
Jenyo can go ahead. You have been you're on mute.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Tellin, for this expository section. I just want to ask a question directly to you based on your own business model, sir. At what point do you get into maturity index in particular area of business whereby you can diversify? Do you get me, sir?
Okay, great. Yeah, I got your question. Okay, now, that is a lovely and wonderful question. Now, so many of us, especially this will also go to people that are into real estate, probably you are into mobilization of funds and all of that. It's important for you to learn this very, very fast so that it can help you in business. Now, sometimes you make projections to mobilize funds to the tune of probably 5 billion. And you want to put it into the current business you are doing. You are mobilizing from investor. You want to put it in probably real estate or you are doing any other business. I've seen a lot of real estate guys that mobilize funds and their target or their projection is 5 billion. At the end of the year of mobilizing funds, they're able to mobilize close to as high as 25 billion. And they still pump this same 25 billion into the same real estate business. While they have the idea that all they require was 5 billion. That is where the problem starts from. Now, to manage the excess of 20 billion will now be the reason and nobody is buying. 2 3 years down the line, this guy will trust them not so. Some of them will also go because of this.
Okay. Hold on. Is it only me? I think there's something with your sound. It's muffled. It's muffling. No, you're not clear. It's as if your voice has been distorted. No. Probably what you do, why not sign out and sign in back? Leave and go. Just sign out and sign in back, please. Okay, good. I guess while we're waiting for him, I could also push what's going to happen to next week and then what is happening on the 26th. And not just that, also we have my organization, the Fit Girl Consulting. We have a product that we're going to release next week, Saturday. For those of us who have registered for next week, Saturday, that's the 19th. You know, we're having a Game Changers Conference in one of the hotels in Ikoyi. We're having a Game Changers Conference. So you have to be looking forward to your invitation during this week. So once you get that invitation, you can now come to the Game Changers Conference. One of the products we're going to release there is called, it's our academy, which we had the privilege of having Okimbaloye Jenyo. Okimbaloye Jenyo is doing well in the oil and gas industry and construction also. I met him 2016 or 2017, I can't even remember now. So he's been part of that, and then we want to make it digital and then very, very intense. So that, no, this is not what I'm asking for. Don't worry, take this out. Don't cause this distraction, please. Just take this out, please. So we're going to be having what we call the Marketplace Red Academy. Marketplace Red Academy. And RED is an acronym or combination of words that is readiness, essential, and dominance. In other words, we'll be dealing with marketplace readiness, marketplace essential, marketplace dominance academy. So that will run for a month. So the Marketplace Red Academy is going to be rolling out two master classes. The first master class is what we call the Marketplace Readiness Masterclass. Marketplace readiness. So some of us who are in paid employment, but you know that the time is almost coming, that you have to transit, and you're wondering, how do I go about it? I've been hearing a lot of questions like that. That is a place to be. That is a place to be where we'll teach you on how your temperament can even fit into the kind of business you can do. We'll also teach you on how to, how to engage in proper business communication. We do all that in the marketplace readiness. What we're trying to do there, how do you write a business proposal? We're going to prepare you to be ready for the marketplace. So that is the first masterclass. The second masterclass is what we call Keeping Your Business in Business Masterclass. Keeping Your Business in Business Masterclass. This one are for the people who have done business and they want to scale up, not expand, they want to scale. You know, there's a difference between expanding and scaling up. I will explain that at the academy. Keeping Your Business in Business Masterclass. So that also will be happening for 2 weeks. The 2 weeks, and the beautiful thing about it is that if you miss your classes, because it's going to be intense, if you miss your classes and you can't come on for the end of the modules, you can always watch the modules later and later within 1 month. It will be on our website for only people who register to go back and watch it as many times as possible. So the one will be the Marketplace Readiness Masterclass will be for 2 weeks. You should let me know when Tenny is back on the platform. Marketplace Readiness Masterclass for 2 weeks. Probably we'll be having Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday classes. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday classes. And then the other 2 weeks will now be for the Keeping Your Business in Business. I can assure you this is going to be intense. It's going to be intense. And probably before we finish, I will allow Jen, you'll probably share the story with you and how he's been able to break new ground. I met him when he was in the NYC camp, and then everything is something else right now for him. So watch out for that. We'll be letting you know how it goes. We'll be rolling out our advert materials very soon. It's an academy that you want to be in. And then again, what we also decided at the board meeting is that once the IS participatory participants will also benefit from mentoring. Just imagine if we are able to cajole and harass or intimidate or what's the word now, Dr. Tenny to spend 1 or 2 hours with you, to spend 1 or 2 hours with you, mentoring you. So are some of the things that we do in the academy. You don't want to miss it. Just watch out for it. We'll let you know. It's not pricey. It's not pricey, but it's not cheap at the same time. But it's an investment that you have to do. And again, for those of us who have family members, I always tell people this: don't give your family members money to do business. You are wasting the money. You are burning the money. You only give family members money to do business when they understand business. They have gone to a school that is teaching them how to price, the rudiment of business, the essentials of business. That is where you can now loan them money to do business. Any amount you loan a family member that doesn't know business, you're putting water in the basket. So, Dr. Tenniola, yeah, your voice is back now. Let's have you now.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I was trying to explain the question that Jen Yo asked the other time, as regards when do you know when to diversify? When do you know when your business is stretched to a point where you now need to diversify? I was explaining most of the time, I've studied a lot of businessmen, and I saw that most of them, they don't make projections based on other likely business they can go into. Now, I'm going to quickly make 2 examples. Today, because of the situation of the country or the situation of the world, we have seen 7up start doing hand sanitizers. I want you to correlate that, how 7up find their way to be doing hand sanitizers. But if you go and check very well, you will discover that they are now, they switched to survival mode because they had excess projection funds in their business that could no longer go to the same business they are doing, and they now have to look for other opportunities to put that money into. Now, the same thing, you saw Julius Berger going into farming. Very strange. Those are strange businesses. Now, if those businesses that are extremely big could be thinking about diversifying. Now, someone that just started business, you made a projection to make 5 billion. You want to raise 5 billion from investor or from any point, I don't know, through equity. And at the end of the day, you were able to raise 5 billion and you started your business. So you go to your phase 2 and you want to raise another 10 billion. You have to understand that every business has their fund injection capacity. When you get to a point where you keep injecting fund and demand is lower than supply, you are going to have problem. Every year you sell 50 houses. It will cost 5 billion to put together. That is what you've been doing. If you want to sell 100 units, you need 10 billion. While you are raising funds, you were able to raise 25 billion. What it means is you have to build 500 houses. So previous year, you sold 50 houses. How are you able to sell? How are you going to sell 500 houses? So it is important that your every plan you make, from every decision, every projection you make, when you write your vision, you must understand where your business wants to be in 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Because sometimes your projection in 5 years, you will hit it in 1 year. Most organizations dies because they met their projection earlier and they were not prepared for it. So what you need to do is to make sure that those plans are in place, just in case you do the unthinkable. It happened to me in 2020. Our projection, we overshoot our projection times 300%. Thank God we're already making plans to go into agriculture. So it was easier to take those excess funds from real estate and push into agriculture. That was how we diversified into agriculture. So you have to have it in your plan that this is what I'm going to inject in this business before we diversify into another business. So that time comes and you hit that top point, even when you were not expecting it. You are already preparing yourself to put funds in another business. It's like, let me use Mr. Nee, for instance. Probably he has made a projection that, okay, financially, if I start making 5 billion annual income, I am not just going to be doing teaching anymore. I'm going to build a school. So at that point, when 10 billion comes, he already made up his mind on the location where the school will be, the type of he wants to build, the type of campaign he wants to do. So the funding is there. He keeps it to his plan, and that's it. Most times, when people make those kind of money, that's when they will not start thinking, hey, should we go into school? They've not made provision for where they will build the school. They've not done their research at all. They've not even known if the school is going to sell or not. So they dabble into it, and that's how the business will not go well. That's what a lot of people do. So put it in your plan to expand your business. Expansion plan, diversification plan has to be in your business when you're writing a 5-year business plan. You can't say, oh, I'm going to be the biggest real estate company in the world without understanding that you must diversify into construction. How will you become the biggest real estate when you don't have a construction firm? So when you are thinking about that, you already have plans that when excess money comes in, I'm going to kick off my construction firm immediately, and we'll start building for other people, not just yourself, because you cannot sell the ones you have anymore. You will not start building for other people. So that's how it works. It's as simple as that.
Awesome. Janio, you want to say something? Or you want to say thank you? Okay, you have said thank you, Abby. Thank you. Just thumbs up for thank you.
Oh. All right. I think we can now have Chima King. He's been itching to ask a question.
Okay, Chima.
All right. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Chima.
Thank you so much, Chairman. Okay, quick one, sir. We've always heard about fake it until you make it, especially for starters in business. You know, you have this projection, you're looking at having this big client, but you just want to put out something there. Now, when they come close, for some people, they discover that what you put out there, that is not what you are. But as starters, what is your thoughts on that fake it until you make it? So for me to make it, how do I control that, in quotes, faking it? And then secondly, sir, how were you able to prepare against any government policy? I'm part of Oxford International Group from CAPCO, and I've seen the growth in Oxford. But my question, the second question is, are you able to prepare against any government policy that can shake business in the long run? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. It's important for you to, let me start from the second one. When you are in business, you have to be extremely informative. You have to be able to get information. You have to understand what is happening in your industry, what might be the likely regulatory decisions they will take based on the new product or the new business you want to pull out. And we also have in-house people that does, when it comes to compliance, most of the time, especially when we're going digital, I had to start employing compliance officers to know, oh, if we go into this business, I hope we will not be violating a particular law or violating a particular right. So those are things that you put in business. Or you just need to put compliance at every point where you put out a product, and compliance will let you know if you are violating or you are not violating. And you address your product in a way that you will not violate government policies. Also, the first one you said,
fake it to make it.
Fake it to make it. Now, a lot of people, as simple as you go into a client and you decide to wear your best suit. The truth of the matter is, you might have to even go hungry to buy that suit. You might have to go to buy that phone that you have, that shoe. But you needed to be in front of the customer because appearance alone says a lot about you. So you have to go hungry to put on clothes. That is you faking it because you don't have the money of what you are wearing, but because that is what the business needed, you have to put it on. Some of us give ourselves nomenclatures that are above. You hear executive director, public relation management, because those are what the people want to hear. What your simply your job is marketing, but they will give you all those names, and when you go there, people can begin to look at you differently as an executive director and can want to attend to you more than the way they attend to other people. But strictly inside your business, you are a marketer. So these are things we talked about. Now, you cannot fake things like when you don't have something, you don't have a product, and you tell the customer you have a product. That is outright reputational issue. That's you stealing.
Yeah.
That's not faking it. You told a customer, I can offer you social service, and you are lying. That's not faking it. Now, that's not faking it. If you don't have something, you have to tell the customer, oh, we don't create this service. I'm sorry, I cannot help you with this service. Probably in the future, we can be of help to you. But presently, we don't do it. So when you say, oh, yes, we can, and you now be looking for ways to satisfy the customer, and then just because you want to collect the customer's money, that is stealing. That is not faking to make it. The faking to make it is you putting yourself on a level where customer will perceive you as somebody that understands what you are doing, even when you don't have that capacity. That is faking it. That is, for instance, you go to a seminar and you start talking, and you are making references to examples of what has happened that people think it happened to you, but probably it didn't happen to you, but someone told you about it, so you were making references, and people started hailing you like, wow, this guy's experienced. That is faking it to make it. It's different from you now saying you started a business, you don't have that service to offer, you don't have that product to offer, and you are lying to clients. You're supposed to be arrested. It's as simple as that. So that's not faking it to make it. You can decide that as an individual, I have joined the business. Anytime I go out to a client, I will raise my shoulder very high. I will speak boldly. I'll be very audible. I will wear good suit. I will wear good tie. Even to maintain that might be quite expensive, but you are ready to get it done, to stay on that level, so that every customer you meet will attend to you. That is faking it to make it. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Tenny. I would also, just to add to this, I would also advise everybody to go to my Instagram page. I don't know whether it's YouTube, but there is something about reputational capital. It's a 17-minute video. Listen to it. In this faking it to make it, just to add to what Tenny said, when you look at it, there is always a gap between perception and reality. Now, the guys who are competent enough, who will get more things done, the people who have breached that gap. And then you are trying to sell us a perception that you have a product, just like you said, you have a product that is 100, but you know you don't have that, is a lie, is a fraud. So you must be able to breach that perception gap and your reality gap. It's always better that you sell the perception of your reality. And what do I mean by that? Sell the perception of the product you can deliver to people, not the ones that you cannot deliver. And then just like you also said, your appearance is part of your work. Your appearance is an investment. When I started off in this business, 2005, what I even did, I came from the pastoral ministry, pastoral business, if I could put it that way, and I moved into the corporate world. And what I did, I told myself that I may not have income in the next 12 months. On the next 24 months, I have prepared for it. So what did I do? I made sure that I bought the suits, not made the suit, because I realized that people who buy suits, they know the difference between a suit that is bought and the one that is made, probably those days and not now. So I bought suits. I didn't buy a brown suit. I didn't buy a pink striped suit. I bought 2 black suits and 1 navy blue suit, because I knew that I can't go for a meeting and I'm dressing somehow. I can't go for meetings and not be able. There is nothing wrong in you telling your friend, you know what, I'm going for a meeting. Can I have your car? You're not telling them that is my car, but you are presenting yourself with good luck. There's something we always say, don't ask, don't tell. Don't ask, don't tell. If they do not ask, why are you telling them? People will just perceive that, Let me give you a good example. I went for a negotiation in Chevron. I was driving on the Civic then, a 2003 model. I was in 2005. So fortunately or unfortunately for me, my car went to the mechanic. And I just said, let me just take a cab and go to Chevron. No. I went to the church and I told Pastor Godman Akinabi, was still in the pastor of Elevation. And I told him, pardon me, borrow me this your car. I want to go and make a presentation. My car is in mechanics. So I took his own car, his own official car, took it to Chevron. And the interesting thing about it that the guys who were, I mean, those of you who know, if you know Chevron, you know, I don't know how to do this day. You know, we always park on the opposite side of Chevron. In Lekki, we always park.
Yeah.
So this guy saw me from the elevator down, from the third floor. He went through the check-in with me as I'm going out. I was saying, don't worry, you have to go back. Don't worry, I want to see you off the car and everything. I knew what he was coming to see. This guy has been making mouth about this amount that he wants to be paid, that amount that he wants to be paid. Let's even see what he even drove here. So fortunately for me, Godman's car was there. And they didn't ask me if it was my car or not my car. Even if it's a good car, don't ask, don't tell. Enter the car, drove off. The day I was going to do the job, my car had arrived from the mechanic. To them, they thought I was waving at them to say hi. But I was waving at them to tell them that, look, this is the second car. It's all about perception management. Marketing is perception management. But then, if you have managed my perception to thinking that you are this, and then by the time I get to you, you're not that, you have injured your reputation. You have injured your reputation. So it's always good you promise less and you deliver more, and promise more and you deliver less. I hope that answers it.
Yes.
Okay, good. So who's next?
Thank you very much. I think you have actually the hand has been up there. Can you unmute yourself, please? Okay. It's looking like actually is not available. We have Chidima, Alain, oh my God, live. Chidima, can we have you, please? Go ahead with your question. Hello.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. My question goes thus. Growing up, I used to admire, thank you, Dr. Temi, for this session. Growing up, I used to admire the likes of Dangote, Dan Tata, and the rest due to the way they sustain their business. But today we have the likes of Dr. Temi. And my question goes thus. How do you, if you ask a random person, they'll tell you Nigeria is not a safe place for, it's not a safe space for business owners, especially the startup. How do you keep up with the business and how do you keep the business growing in spite of all that is going on in Nigeria, especially the kind of business Oxford International Group is into? Some people tell you that those who have been in this business for years, as in hit the rock bottom. What is keeping Oxford growing and what's keeping other businesses growing in Nigeria today? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay. Chidima, the Nigerian space has presented a lot of opportunities because we have the numbers. Nigeria has the number for any form of business you want to do. That is why you even see that people in diaspora, they seek opportunities in Nigeria, they bring their business to Nigeria. No, that's number one. Number two, we have the number one. Number two, people are still paid. People still accept pay to that is not their level, but comfortably still take it and still work. I know some companies that pay their staff as low as 30,000, 40,000, and those people are key decision makers in the business. You know, if you go to any countries of the world, people that make decisions are paid very well. But in Nigeria, you can see how people, more like, I don't want to call it cheap labor, but this is a country where you will get cheap labor. Number three, there are so many opportunities that have not been tapped, so many businesses that have not been brought in, so many strategies that have not been executed. We have seen a lot of, if you count the number of companies that even have in Nigeria, it's not as much the companies you find in Europe and in America. We still have a lot of opportunity. And the fact that Nigeria is growing on a daily basis, I've seen a lot of my friends, a lot of people that are close to me, they relocate and all of that. I kept wondering that, why are you relocating to greener pasture when the opportunity is right here in Nigeria? All you need to do, like what I said earlier, stand up on your feet and doing things for yourself. Another thing is we have a lot of platform in Nigeria that people can leverage on. And the truth is, one of the things I did as a businessman is to create a platform where people can actually do business as if they are doing it for themselves. And that is why it looks like, oh, the platform is getting bigger on a daily basis. So the opportunities are here. If you go abroad, for instance, and you want to start a business, there are so many things that you will have to go through. You have to pay taxes. In Nigeria, we're not deeply regulated like that. Most of the businesses that are not regulated today are actually businesses that are supposed to be regulated. Recently, EFCC launched a campaign against real estate firms. I'm sure proper real estate company, I mean proper real estate company now, will understand what I'm saying right now. They launched a campaign against real estate companies as regards regulation and all of that. So normally you can't be having widespread of real estate everywhere. Every shop, people are opening real estate everywhere. It's because the business is not regulated. So you still find yourself in a country where you can individually get up, do a business and become big all by yourself. So, and you don't find that anywhere. So that is why it looks like, oh, things are getting better here. And when it comes to taxes too, most of our businesses, they give us tax exemption, they give us tax leverage, there are so many things that the government also making sure that we don't pay. You understand? So unlike developed countries that you pay through your nose, you make those income and then you pay them back to the government. So those are things that makes Nigeria better. And except for people that are not strategic or people that does not see the opportunities in Nigeria, those are the ones that feel like, hey, I can't do business here. For instance, when I started business, we used to go home with 2,500 every Friday. Some people can't go through that. They can't imagine themselves working in an office that you have to on generator at a particular time where customers are seated. And then when customer walks out of the office, we put off the generator. So a lot of people cannot go through that. That's why they prefer to go abroad and then probably work for someone. So that's it.
Awesome. The money is here. Anybody who knows that, I have a lot of young millionaires. I'm wondering what people are going through. The best they could ever do is to send their children and their wives abroad. They sit down here. With the kidnapping, with the herdsmen and everything, they know that the money is right here in Nigeria. That's why sometimes for you to even see the money, you need to be in a group or in a company of people who have seen the money and they can start talking about the money. Because most of the time, what makes you outstanding or rich is not because you're smart or because you're intelligent or because you have the knowledge. Most of the time, it's you being at the right place at the right time with some particular set of people. And they will begin to talk and begin to say some things, and boom, the thing will just put up in your mind. I mean, there are some things that were done, that some investment that we did that generated a lot of income was because I was new. I people talking about that, say, hey, so that one is there. Jesus, so you have been doing that? Are you serious? Hey, how come you didn't tell me what to do? How come you're not doing it? That light bulb. You may have all the integrity, but if you're not in that room when they are discussing those things, and that's why we say that the things that would not going to be taught, T-A-U-G-H-T. The things that will change your life are going to be taught, C-A-U-G-H-T. You catch means observation, staying around the people. So sometimes when you hear programs that we're putting up and you're saying it's too expensive, that shows kind of, just like Dr. Teddy said, that means your capacity is not there yet. Your capacity is not there.
I have something to say about that. I have something to say about that.
Go ahead, sir.
Now, the truth is, for anyone listening, most of these programs that they put up here, and when you see the prices, don't let the price be the judgment of that program. I have been in some of these programs, and I know how it has helped me open my mind. You know, sometimes as a businessman, there are some things you are planning to do, but because you are thinking about it alone, you are not sure it will work until somebody else that even listen to you, someone that's not even heard from you, say the exact thing you are thinking in your head. And it's telling you that you can do it. So it is coming to you. That's what Christian people call inspiration. Like, oh, what they want. No, it's actually your, but you needed someone to convince you that that's what happened to me in Dubai. I sat down in that table. I knew what I wanted to do, but it looks like I'm going crazy. Like, this, can I do this? And I had somebody speaking all over again about all his exploits, all the things he has done, how you did this, how you did that. And I asked a simple question that day. One man had to sit on all the board of this company. One man. So it means that what I'm thinking in my head is achievable. And that was how I picked it, and I started running with it. That, you know what? I'm going to sit on as many boards as possible to make it in life. That's what I did. So most of the time, your mind is telling you this is what you can do. But most of these times, if you don't go to this program, you might not have that insight to be able to know how exactly to go about it and what to do. And sincerely, don't look at the costs. I tell people $1,000 sometimes is all you need to make it in life. It's not even 16 years in school. It's just that $1,000. I've seen a lot of people in my lifetime that did not go to school. They've gone to programs like this. They are the ones speaking everywhere now. They call them motivational speakers. They are everywhere speaking about business, and people are reckoning them as one of the world-class business owners today, and they didn't go to any school. I've seen it. So it is important when you see those programs. It is something, even if you have to go fasting and make sure you save up to do it, please do. You will not regret it.
Dr. Teddy, it is called the deep calling onto the deep. When you are deep, sometimes the deep now start calling to that deep. Somebody who has do it, now start calling to that deep, that is depth that is inside you. It just opens up. Because you already know it, you already have it, but you don't just know how to unveil it. So somebody has the experience, and then boom, it just clicks. And that's what they call the light bulb moment. Don't call it revelation. And it just a boldness, a courage comes upon you. And then boom, you just what happens, you become unstoppable. You become unstoppable. Thank you so much for and then we're going to Dubai again. I don't want to talk about it here, but we're going to Dubai again on the 19th of next month. So you can call the number. We're going to Dubai. Dr. Tenniola will be there. Just imagine. Let me give you this. Picture. Just imagine for 3 nights, you're in the same hotel with Dr. Tenniola. You can't come back to Lagos. You can't rush back to Lagos. Nobody can rush back to Lagos. You're there. Because you can't just say, okay, I'm taking the next flight. You have to ask if there's space in that next flight. So we're there for 3 nights. Just imagine the likes of other people in the same hotel, having breakfast together, lunch together, and dinner together, and taking some trips all around Dubai together. That is where the magic is. That's where the magic is. You come back from there, and your mind is blown away, and you're ready to do the impossible. 19th of March, check everywhere, just get to know about it, call the numbers, and I know what the program, Dr. Tenniola, I don't know what I told you, the program is getting interesting by the day. You know, we were supposed to go last year, and then we kept changing the date. Well, every time we changed the date, every time we changed the date, we upgraded the program. We make sure that it's a new texture, a better one. We upgraded, we upscaled. And then we're trying to sign some contract. That's why I can't even talk too much. By the time we sign those contracts, then we'll unveil the real deal in this program on the 19th and 20th and 21st. It has changed its texture. It's not the one that we planned last year, neither is it the one that we planned in February that we didn't go. This is new. You have to be there. Even if you have to empty your account and get in there. But if you can't, you said that's too expensive. You need to also go into the Marketplace Red Academy. It's for you. If you can't come to Dubai, you can still do Marketplace Red Academy. And then I promise you, those 2 master classes will change your life for good. Good. Fantastic. Dr. Tenniola, don't worry. I have you today. We are together. Really enjoy. Can you imagine? Sorry. Bamike, forgive me. I've even forgotten that Bamike was there.
No.
Can I go ahead, Bamike?
Have questions. I can see 4 hands. I can see 4 people raising their hands.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't know.
I think Israel has unmuted himself. Israel Oderinde.
Okay.
So let's have.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Nia Adesoya and Dr. Tenniola Adesoya. I've actually been here grinding and really happy to be sharing the same space to listen to these great leaders I've always admired. So it's really an honor to be here with you guys. My question basically is from the topic of this virtual call, talking about attracting more income. I want to look at it from the angle of an international investor, someone actually in the diaspora, and they are looking to invest in the Nigerian economy. And if you are to look at the current situation of the Naira devaluation and inflation and all of that, and to consider the buying power as well. So for an investor who is investing, and how would they be gaining enough of their funds by the time they're actually getting back their returns, considering the Naira devaluation for an international investor?
Okay, thank you, Israel. Presently, I have those kind of challenges with me too. I've seen people from diaspora coming in and say, hey, I want to invest $100,000 in your business. I want to invest $500,000. Okay, so one of the things we put in place is to, first of all, let them understand that there's bank rates. CBN rate is very critical to, first of all, distance yourself from the black market rates, because that will really hurt your business. So most of the time I stand my ground to say, hey, this is the bank rate. If you are not going to go by the CBN rate, you need to convert your funds to Naira and then let business Naira. Sometimes you have to compromise when you understand. It depends on the business you want to put the money into. If you look at the exchange rate and you see that it's comfortable for you, you are going into a business with 572 naira per dollar, and you're sure that within that space you want to use the money for, you'll be able to get probably 1,000 or 1,200 per dollar. Yeah, it's still a good business. You go into it, but it depends on what your business will bring. Most times, your business cannot even bring that fund that you're talking about. So the best thing to do is to stay on the part of CBN rates, insisting that it has to come in at CBN rates. I also go as far as even telling some of my clients that it will be illegal for me to accept funds in black market rates, because the CBN rate is there for all of us investment to follow. And if you say you brought black market rate, who is regulating that rate exactly? You can't come up and say, I want to change my money for 572. Who is regulating it? CBN is not regulating that. So I'd rather take funds from you based on CBN regulated price, and let's do business in dollars. But if you want me to compromise that, then we'll have to do business in naira. It depends on how important the fund is and the kind of business you want to go to. Like I said, some people will see that very funny that you can't reject fund. It depends on the business. So if I know that the business will make the money, will make both the capital and I will still make a bit of profit, I will accept it in dollar. But if I cannot, I will stay with. Now, another thing about foreign investors is that they go all the way to make sure that their funds are secured. They will be asking you for a lot of things. They are even funnier than the banks. I need to let you know that. They want you to, first of all, secure the funds by probably doing a bank guarantee. And these are the questions I ask people. I want to get 1 billion naira from you, and you're asking me to give you a bank guarantee. If I go to the bank wants me to have that 1 billion either in cash or in assets. Okay, so before they issue a bank guarantee. So if I have the 1 billion in my hand in the first place, will I need your own 1 billion? It doesn't make any sense to me. If I have 1 billion asset, do I need your 1 billion naira? No, I'd rather just approach the bank, give them my asset, then take the loan from the bank. Most of the time, the reason why a lot of people don't even know that the bank loans are even better than foreign investors is because they are not credible, or probably they don't have the instrument to get this money from the bank. So I will advise that most of the time you have to look at the funds that are coming in vis-a-vis the business you want to use it for. That is what will guarantee if you should take it at black market rates, or insist that they change it to naira, or you go with CBN rates. That's the decision.
And if I may add this also, Israel, when you bring in your money to invest, you have to look at the industry. How long do you want your money to be invested? 12 months, 24 months, 5 years or so. And then that will now determine the kind of industry you go into. If you go into an industry that they will need a turnaround time, a longer turnaround time to be able to turn around your business, then you know that, okay, probably I need to stay longer in this business. Now, most of the time, we always tell people often this, that there's no other time right now for somebody who earns pounds. I can see my friend on the call. I can see you on the call. So I'm going to use Great Britain. You know, you have your money is 1 to 700 or 780, if not 800. So there's no better to come into a Nigerian market and buy probably real estate, buy houses that will never go down in Nigeria. Land will never go down in Nigeria. It will always be increasing in value. So if you bring in your money and then you put it into that space, it's better, because now your $1, your £1 is my own 800 naira. So that gives you more room to maneuver and to be able to acquire more. But then look at it very well. Are you looking at a 12 months turnaround to get your money back, or you want to put it on a 5-year to get your money back? And again, please understand the people you're going to do business with. Do your due diligence. do your due diligence and be sure that you have all your T's crossed and all your I's dotted. Because if you don't do that, it's not a guarantee, but you have to look at it. Do I just want to put my money and get my money out? So you want to put your money and get your money out. That looks more like a Ponzi scheme, but you have to also look at the integrity of the people. I deal with people that I know have integrity. They deny themselves a lot of things just to make sure that they save their name. They save their name. And one of that person is Tenny here. I know what he goes through to save his name. And I know how he's scared to make anything stain his name. I mean, I see that fear, the way, no, I don't want it. He safeguarded his name and he said that a good name is better than silver or gold. So you need to look at that very well. And look at their track record of paying back invested money. Track record. Very important, Israel, for us to know that. I think I would take Oyinloye, Iyola Oyinloye. Okay. You will crucify me now that I didn't get the name well, but you know I know you. Iyola.
Good evening, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine, sir. I was actually about to turn this to prayer point. Say, Father, remember me on this platform. Good evening, sir. Nice to be here again, sir. Quite a privilege. And Dr. Penny, thank you so much for all you said. I've learned a lot. Thank you so much. God bless you, sir. I just want a further clarification. Am I well heard? Am I clear?
Yeah. Yeah, you're clear.
Okay. Okay. I just want a further clarification between a particular case study you shared and a certain narrative that we always ask. The case of a board meeting you got to, and the MD gave a projection of 500 million per annum when you expected it to be done in a quarter. That means you had an initial projection of about 2 billion per annum, so to speak, and it's giving us 500 million. And you said by the time you ask question, you have to scale it maybe about times 100. Now, the cogent lesson there for me that you rightly highlighted was the fact that if you don't project beyond your reach, you might not actually be able to achieve something tangible. That was very fantastic. I got that. Thank you, sir. But I need you to help me marry this, which is with a popular narrative we have, which is that our goals must be smart. And we're talking about being specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Now, the MD being at the center, being on top of the board, who sees in and out, because being somebody who has been privileged to be in such a situation before, investors, shareholders, directors come to board meetings, of course, with IO, it's expected that's where the business is run. But the man that is sitting down, that sees people in and out, has to give a projection that is smart, so to speak. Also, when you were also giving an explanation, you said people direction.
Okay. Did you lose him?
He's back. I believe he's back. Mr. Yola, you're muted.
Iola, unmute yourself, or somebody should unmute him from you, please.
Okay.
Okay. But Tenny, did you get his question to a particular point?
Hello?
Okay, I think it's back.
Okay.
Tenny.
Thank you, sir. Now.
Hold on, Yola. Tenny, say something. Okay, you know what, Tenny? This is what you do. Tenny. You will listen to the question. After you have done listening to the question, you will now go out and come back in. That thing that started again. Your voice is not clear. But just listen to the question so that we don't break him. Let him take the question. Let him finish the question. Tenniola, please go ahead and finish the question.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, when you are talking, some people look at the experience of 2 years ago, last year, to give a projection of next year. Now, in my opinion, are we going to say that is an error in getting your facts right before you project on what is achievable? And again, if that is not managed very well, the expectation between the owners and the reality on ground, if it's not managed very well, are we not going to have a propaganda situation, a propaganda situation, so to speak, where an enemy will just come to excite the shareholder, knowing fully well that it's not achievable, but just like it has entered a kind of zone that that's what they expect. That's what they want. Whether we can achieve it or not, achieve it, all of them will see. But for them not to hack me down, let me just give them what they want, but they will see the reality. I just want to help me marry the two. Why not creating a fake impression before the shareholder? Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. So, Tenny, say something. Let us see whether your microphone is back.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Yana.
No, it's not back. Go in and out. Go in and out. Go out and in, sorry. Go out and in. We're waiting for you. Okay, good. I think many people have been asking the question here. Let me quickly do this before Tenny comes back, about the fact that they want to be in Dubai, want to be in Dubai, want to be in Dubai. But it's okay. It's a 3-night program. You get in on the 19th, and the program starts on the 20th and the 21st. And then you leave on the 24th. No, sorry, 20th and 21st, and you leave on the 22nd. Now, the fee of that program is $5,000. It does not cover your ticket. It does not cover your visa. You have to get your ticket yourself, and you have to get your visa yourself. But it covers for the accommodation, for the training, the retreat, and then the whole interaction, $5,000. So you can either convert it to Naira or you pay in dollars like that. But definitely, if you really, really want it, you call a number right now. I'm gonna call out the number, the digits, call that out, and then probably they may have 1 or 2 discounts for you tonight. If you really, really, really want to be there. Look, we're actually full. We're just extending the class because we have more time. And the number is 080. Okay, for those of us who are international, because we're going international, commuters in Dubai, +234 8033 04 2762 +234 8033 04 2762. Somebody's asking what is it in Naira? Just call the number and then we'll do the maths together and then you understand. Because right now, the dollar is, the dollar and Naira, they are kind of one kind of romance that we can't even predict right now. So it's going to be you quickly fix your seat right now. Because if you get to a point where we'll have to close the shop, and then you know what it means like to get a visa if you're in Nigeria to Dubai. I think it's taking about 2 weeks right now to be able to get all those things sorted out. But I can assure you one thing, you cannot come back from there and remain the same. Your investment will not be in vain. You know what I said earlier on when Penny was talking? Remember? Promise low and deliver high. So whatever I'm saying here is I'm promising very low. Whatever I tell you will happen is a low promise. And I can assure you, our delivery will way surpass that money you pay. I always tell people this, there's something about me, I just brag. You cannot outgive or outpay NIA. Whatever you pay for anything you do, you get much more. Anything. That's our promise to our clients. You can never outgive us, you can never outplay us. We always give you more. Okay, Ten is back. Tenniola, greet us so that we see whether your voice is back also.
Hi.
Yeah, your voice is back.
Okay. Okay, let me attend to your last question. First of all, you must know this, that board of directors of any organizations are the owners of the business. And for anyone to work with them, they must first communicate their vision to that person. The person that will manage the business must also understand where the business is going. Now, let's take a scenario. You invested in a microfinance bank, and your goal in 2 years is to become a national bank from a unit microfinance bank. It will take you to invest as high as 2 billion to become a national bank. Okay, now you have an MD that came in that understood what needs to be done in 24 months, that knows that we need to be a national bank in 24 months. And that same MD come to your board meeting to present 500 million after he had done 500 million the previous year. Now, what it means is two things. He's not keying into the vision of becoming a national bank. Hence the reason why it is important for the board of directors to wade into the projection and reject its projection. Now, what you want to drive is different from what we want to achieve. We are telling you sincerely that this is the point we want the bank to get to at this particular time. For you to be able to achieve the 2 billion, you need to go 4 billion. That is the only way to achieve the 2 billion. So when you come with a 500 million projection, it has defeated the purpose of the vision. It has defeated the reasons why you were employed in the first. It has defeated the reason why we even have board of directors to even check your projection in the first place. It means that person is not even qualified for the job. Don't forget, for anyone that picks up the job, you must first understand exactly what the owners of the business want to achieve. That will be the reasons why you will even pick up with the job in the first place. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, people pick up jobs because of the money attached to the job. They don't pick up jobs based on what they can deliver. So most of the time, when I recruit people, I tell them to first forget the remuneration. Let's talk about what you can deliver. If you can give me this, I can pay you this. I want this bank to become a national bank in 2 years. I will pay you 2 million naira monthly. Deal or no deal? If you cannot offer this, you cannot follow the trend. Of course, he knows that in 24 months he needs to deliver a national bank. I will have a minimum of 5 million clients with a deposit to the tune of over 20 billion. Then we'll have a capital base of 2 billion. It is one thing he can do. If he cannot do it, he will leave the job. It's as simple as that. So most of the time, people don't even know. For instance, if you look at what happened to First Bank, the board is fired. The board is fired not because they are not doing their oversight function. They are fired because they are not even pushing the bank to grow. It is the job of the board of directors of any bank to make sure that they meet projections, to get projections that is achievable based on the vision that is driving the bank. It's very key. It applies to all businesses. I've seen a lot of business. The MD comes forward to say, hey, this is what we can do. Most of them will not be begging, please, can you do more? Can you please do more? No. He picks up the job in the first place because he can achieve what you want to be achieved. That is why he picked up the job. So when it comes with something that you don't want, you reject. That's the way it works. In the first place, if projections are not meant to be rejected, is he going to bring it to you for approval? No. So he needs to know what you want, what he can achieve, and then marry that together. Now, the second question, he said something about, oh my God, it skipped my mind. Your last second question. What's your last second question? He was talking about.
Iola, talk for yourself.
Budget that is overblown projection.
Okay. Yes.
So many times
what I was trying.
we're not. Yeah, I get it now. So
Okay.
see, first of all, a projection is a projection. If you don't, like I was explaining earlier, if you don't have them, it is either is an advantage to you or is a disadvantage to you. I have seen projections that are not achievable, that will only make you spend more money and achieve nothing at the end of the day. I can also tell you that I've seen projections that are undervalued. For example, projection that is not supposed to be written in any book, that those people will present to you and you are supposed to fire them on the spot. Now, because I've seen both worlds, I've been a street executive. I'm also been a C-suite executive. I know the difference between a business that is hustling and a business that is doing business. I know the difference. I've sat on board of directors or where they will tell you that this is what they want to achieve and they are just saying that on paper. I've seen that too. But when we talk about proper projection, where people want to really, really work, they need to put their projection based on the capacity of, number one, the human capital they have. Number two, the fund injected into that business. Number three, the infrastructure available. And then probably